Hi, welcome back to Game Programming with Unity. I'm Nicholas Bernhard Ziemann, and in this chapter, what we're going to be looking at is assets. How do we deal with Unity's assets? What kind of assets do we have? How do we manage those assets? And what are the different properties of those assets? So let's just talk a little bit about the types of assets that we're going to be using inside of Unity. All right, there are basically two types of assets. One that we generate in Unity, and there are multiple types of assets we generate in Unity. One of them being scripts. We write a lot of scripts in Unity. In the next section, we'll get to those, but it's an asset type that Unity creates for us. All right, the other type is an external file, and you can see here, as I'm looking at my folders, I have a few different types here that always reference an external file and always require an external type of program to edit that file. So the first thing we're going to look at here, we have these 3D assets, right? We have different 3D assets. A 3D asset is any type of 3D geometry or animation data with skeletons, and they come in multiple file formats, but Unity natively reads what's called a filmbox or a motion builder format, which is a .fbx format. And that .fbx format contains certain types of data. Now, Unity can also parse through a Maya file or a 3D Studio file. However, you must have that software installed on your machine. So all the files I'm going to be giving you for anything are going to be in FBX format, because I'm going to assume that you don't already have 3D Studio or Maya on your computer, because Unity requires that software to be set up in order for it to convert it internally into an FBX file. Right, what other kind of assets do we have that we edit or import externally? Audio files. Now, what kind of audio files can Unity read? Well, most WAV files, all types of normal, standard use audio formats, including compressed files like MP3s. And so each audio file here can either be a WAV, it could be uncompressed, can be compressed. Unity compresses these internally, so if you want to use compressed files, you can, but know that Unity will compress it internally and thus save you a whole lot of space in memory. All right, other types of files. Fonts. Now, fonts are just regular fonts, TrueType, can be imported. Unity does not inherently have any fonts at all. It does not have access to your system fonts. So like you open up Word and you see all those long lists of fonts you can use. Those are being accessed from your PC or Mac's system files. In Unity, it does not do that. Therefore, you have to load in each font individually as an external asset. So that's a really important thing to remember. If you want to use a custom font, you've got to drop it into your fonts directory that we've created, and then it'll automatically be available for you. Now, the reason it does this is because it will compile them into the Unity project. Instead of having to access all these external fonts, it would really clog up the memory. So it does it to be efficient. All right, what else do we have here? The last one I'm going to show you is textures. Textures are 2D images. All pixel graphics files are most major ones that are in use today, including JPEG, TIFF, Photoshop files, which are .psd, and .png, which is the Apple format, which is actually a very useful format. It'll read all of those types of files. So here I've got some 2D images, and they are being used as textures, 2D textures. Now, some of the files that we create inside of Unity, scenes. So scenes are an asset that we've created inside of Unity. It means the only thing we can edit that scene with is Unity. Scripts. Now we can edit and create those scripts externally, or we can right-click and go to Create, and it'll allow us to create all kinds of assets that are unique to Unity, one of those being these C# scripts. And prefabs. We're going to talk a little bit about prefabs later, but we generate those internally in Unity from game objects. And materials. That is also something that only exists inside Unity. It does exist as a script file, and you can script your own shaders and things, but that's very advanced. When you want to create a material for use inside Unity, we right-click here, and we say Create Material. And that basically creates an internal asset that we can only edit in Unity itself. All right, so that's just a little rundown on the difference between assets that we create inside of Unity and assets that we generate outside of Unity and then edit outside of Unity as well.